this is a $50 million sword, and it can do this. Oh my god, that covered the entire island. And I'll be showing you the difference between that and this $1 sword. Bro, this is the most basic sword I've seen. So you got the X move, pretty basic, and you also got the Z move. Pretty... what the heck? Alright, well, moving on to the next sword, which is worth a solid $12,000. And it is the dual katana. This is literally the $1 sword, but just doubled. Alright, let's see why this is worth $12,000. So we got the Z move. I mean, pretty basic, just like the $1 sword. Again, pretty basic. But moving on to the next sword, or not really a sword, is the iron mace. And this is worth a solid $25,000. Now, yeah, this isn't really a sword, but it is still pretty cool. So this has some cool M1s. Look at this. So we got this M1, this M1. And then we smashed the ground on the final M1. That's actually kind of cool. The previous swords didn't have this. And also, along with that, the Z move is pretty cool. But the next sword is worth $60,000. And it is the triple katana. Am I holding this third sword with my nose? That's so fire. Alright, well, what's cool about the triple katana are the moves. Look at that. The Z move is pretty nice. And the X move is also pretty cool. And the way you get these swords is by talking to this guy and buying it from him for, of course, $60,000. Alright, but there's actually another sword that we can buy from this guy, which also happens to be our next sword. And it is the pipe. And now we have our next sword. Now again, this isn't exactly a sword, but it is pretty cool. Look at this. Woohoo! Now you can't tell me that's not fire. Wait, that is fire. Alright, but the next sword is a big downgrade from the pipe, and it is the Warden sword. And it is worth a solid $200,000, and oh my god, this sword is big! But unlike the pipe, the moves kinda suck. That small hitbox, I couldn't even hit him. What about the X move? Just one tornado. Alright, but the next sword is an upgraded version of the Warden sword. And oh my god, this is like 4 times my size. And this is actually double the price too. Coming in at a solid $400,000 is the dual-headed blade. Alright, now what's cool about this is that unlike the Warden sword, it can actually do 3 tornadoes. And the Z move is not the best, but it's definitely not the worst. Alright, but for the next sword, we actually have to defeat this guy over here. Alright, let's go. Let's go, Saw. Oh my god. Oh, he's serious. Alright, goodbye. Easy. But anyways, by defeating him, we just got our next sword, which is worth a solid $500,000, and it is the Shark Saw. And it also has the cool M1, just like the Iron Mace. Not only that, the Z move looks really cool. I'm biased, by the way. I'm red and black. That matches me really good. And this X move is really good at grinding because you can gather all the NPCs just like this. Look at this. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And then finish him off with a Z move. Alright, but the next sword, we actually get it from right here by defeating this guy. Alright, let's do this. X move. Z move. Oh yeah, do the cool M1s. And boom. We just got ourselves the next sword, which is the Trident. Alright, now the cool thing about this sword is the Z move. Look at this. I can use the Z move to go anywhere. Alright, but there's actually another sword which has a move just like this one. I'll show you that later though. Alright, but for the next sword, we actually have to talk to this skeleton right here. For $750,000, we get the Soul Cane. Now this sword is the only sword which has a freeze ability right here. But the X move is kinda mid. But you know what else is mid? You not being subscribed to the channel. And come on, subscribe already, please. Alright, but to get the next sword, we have to defeat this guy over here. He's holding the next sword right now. Mid move, go! Alright, but by defeating him, we just got our next sword. Or not a sword, a pole. Yeah, that's it. It's just a pole. It's worth a solid $900,000. And the cool thing about the pole is that, I guess, lightning. But this lame looking pole actually does become really nice when you get the second form. And I'll show you the second form later. Alright, but for our next sword, we have to defeat this guy over here. Alright, let's go. Mid attack. Go. Alright, we got our next sword, which is the Jitte. Quite an odd shape for a sword, I'm not gonna lie. Now, the Jitte right here is worth a solid $1,250,000. And it is pretty nice. You can teleport with the X move. And the Z move is a cool little smoke blast. Look at that. And this X move actually blinds people, which is another plus point. So yeah, pretty good sword overall. But for the next sword, we have to defeat this guy. Bro, I'm not gonna... Oh! Okay. Boom. And we got our next sword, which is the long sword. Now, this sword might look really generic, but this is actually worth 1.5 million, and it is definitely worth it. So the Z move does a cool little slash, which actually creates nature, and the X move is like a dive thingy. We created a whole forest there. And another cool thing about the X move is that you can take any NPC with you. Now, I haven't seen that on any other sword. So yeah, overall, looks lame, but it's definitely not lame. Alright, but for our next sword, we actually have to defeat this big, intimidating guy. Alright, come here. This guy is strong. Oh lord, oh my god. Dude, that sword is deadly. I'm doing a whole lot of nothing on this guy right now. Alright, come on. Oh my god, he just grabbed me. Alright, there we go. We got it. Now, somehow this sword is an uncommon sword, and it's worth a solid 1,750,000. Now, as you saw, this sword is pretty deadly. You got the Z move, which creates a whole tornado, and we got the X move, which grabs people and flings them up. Damn, I'm not gonna lie, this sword is not that good. When that guy was using it, it just felt more deadly. I don't know. Now this feels pretty weak, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, now I see why it's uncommon. Yeah, this sword is kind of mid. Okay, but the next sword is not even anything close to mid, and we have to defeat this guy to get it. All right, come on, let's go. Come on, give me the sword. Give me the sword. Give me the sword, please. Give me the sword. Give me the sword, and we got it. The sword is mine, and it is the gravity cane. Now, it might not look anything too crazy, but trust me, this sword has like a sleeper build. It looks like garbage, but it's really powerful. Like, look at this. That guy's over there, and now he's over here. That Z move pull range is crazy. Not only that, the X move is also pretty crazy. I grabbed and flung him in the air. Oh, what you looking at? Come here. Now, this Z move is a really good combo starter. You can just pull people in, and they cannot do anything about it. So yeah, pretty cool sword, I'm not gonna lie. But the next sword actually goes crazy, and we have to defeat this guy to get it. I'm not gonna lie, this gravity cane does not do a lot of damage. Alright, come on. This bro spawned a sea beast. Oh, never mind. Got it. Dragon Trident. Alright, we got the next sword, which is the Dragon Trident, which is worth 2,750,000. I mean, this emo is pretty cool, but the coolest thing about this sword is definitely the X move. Look at this. That AoE is actually massive. Look at this. I'll stand right here, and I'll do the move right here. Look, all three of them will get hit. Never mind. Look at this. The AoE on this move is actually crazy, and it even pulls people in, which makes it even better. So yeah, definitely a pretty cool trident. Alright, but to get our next sword, we have to talk to this guy right here, and he will sell us one of the 3 legendary swords, which is the Vondo. Coming in at a solid 3 million, this sword is truly one of a kind. Now, the Z move right here deals tons of damage. It's like kind of like a barrage, which is pretty cool. And the X move, you launch like a dragon or something. Whatever it is, pretty cool. But this was the first legendary sword. Time for the second, which is the Saudi, which is worth a solid 3.5 million. Now, the Saudi right here looks again pretty cool. And the moves are also really cool. Z move does that, flings them up, and the X move is my favorite. Yoo-hoo-hoo! That has to be my favorite flying slash out of any sword. Look at this. Now you cannot tell me that's not sick. But the next sword is even cooler, and it is the Shisui, and it is worth 3,750,000, and it truly deserves that value. Look at this. So the Z move is like a lunge, and the X move, that has really long range. Look at this X move. That range is insane. But we can actually combine all 3 of these swords to make a crazy sword. But I'll show you that crazy sword later. Alright, but the next sword is worth exactly 4 million. And it is the Coco. Now, on first glance, this sword might not look very special. But what makes this sword so valuable is its abilities with control. Now, this is my Z move normally. You know, pretty standard. But if I use the control room, my Z move goes crazy. And normally this is my X move. You know, pretty standard. But if we just activate our control room, our X move looks something like this. All right, the target is right there. Let's snipe him. Oh my god, that range is crazy. And then we can teleport, do the Z move, and throw a glue on him. Yeah, comboed. All right, but our next sword is surprisingly in the first C. And it is dropped by this clown-looking guy over here. Why does he have a red nose? Yo! He's fighting back. All right, there we go. I beat him. And with that, we got our next sword. But this Saber might not look like much, but trust me, it is crazy. Because this sword is worth 4.5 million. And there's a good reason for that. Because the Z move, oh my god. The Z move is a rush and also a range attack, which does crazy damage. And the X move is huge. Look at this. Oh my god. Yeah, well, nonetheless, a really overpowered sword. But remember this thunder guy right here who dropped this lame looking pole? Well, our next sword is actually the evolved version of this. All right, but for the pole V2, we actually have to talk to this guy over here. And with that, we just got the pole V2. Now this sword right here is worth exactly 5 million. Now the cool thing about this sword are the stuns. Because look at this. The X move right here drags them in and also stuns them. And the Z move also stuns them, which is a big upgrade from the pole V1. Alright, but the next sword is surprisingly again in the first C. And it is sold by this guy. The same guy who sells the dual-headed blade. And it is the Bisento. But this Bisento right here is actually worth 6 million. Now this sword does the most amount of damage out of any sword in the game. Look at this. Oh my god. And if you combine that with Saber V4, you can actually wipe out an entire server in just one hit, which is crazy. Alright, but for the next sword, we have to kill this guy over here. Oh my god, this boss has a lot of health. Thankfully, the Bisento has so much damage. 21,000 damage, that's crazy. And there, we got him. Alright, by defeating that guy, we just got our next sword, which is the canvander. Alright, but this canvander is actually worth 6,250,000. But the Z move right here actually has a lot of range, and the X move too. And also, a fun fact about this is that the best of friendo also uses canvander. So yeah, honestly, quite the teamwork sword. Alright, but the next sword is probably one of my favorite right here, and it is the Midnight Blade. And this sword right here is worth 6,750,000. Look at this thing. Now this sword is definitely one of the coolest. Look at this. Here's the Z move. Now you cannot tell me that doesn't look cool. I don't know what just happened, but that was cool. So if we create like portals and stuff, and the X move also, oh boy, you can create some crazy combos with this. Look at this. So I can do this X move, and then I can quickly do the Z move. And that is a combo right there. But yeah, the combo potential on this sword is crazy. And also it looks pretty cool. So yeah, it is definitely worth the 6,750,000. Now the next sword is actually obtained right here with a chest here. Now I've already gotten the chest, so it's not there, but you would get the next sword from this, which is the Rengoku. Now this sword right here is worth 7 million. And there's actually a really good reason why it's worth that much. So the Z move right here, Demon Slayer, puts a burning effect on your enemies. And if we just hold this X move, it turns into a whole different skill. And look at this. Oh my god, that AoE is insane. And we can of course do the Z move to finish them off. That is actually wild. Technically, this sword is the only obtainable sword with 3 moves. But there is actually another sword with 4 moves. I'll show you that in a bit though. Alright, but to get the next sword, we have to defeat this. What is that? Well, whatever this is, we have to defeat it. Alright, but with that, we have gotten the next sword, which is the Buddy Sword. And this sword is worth 7.5 million. And let me show you why. Now, it is pretty unique in design, I would say that. But this sword right here has the longest range out of any sword in the entire game. It has the Z move, which gives them a burning effect. And also this X move. Look at that range. Now, the further you are from the enemy, the more damage you deal. So, if I'm like right here, then I do 3,695 damage. But if I just go a little bit far away, I do a little bit more damage. 5,121. That is a 2,000 damage increase. Alright, but for the next sword, we have to somehow defeat this guy. Oh, hell no. Give me the sword. Give me the sword. Give it. All right, there we go. We have got the sword. And it is, this. Well, believe it or not, this butter knife right here is actually worth 7,750,000. It's worth more than the Rengoku and also the Midnight Blade. How? Alright, maybe there's something really special about it. Let's see. Okay, that move is kind of cool. Not really anything too crazy, I'm not gonna lie. So I guess there is some combo potential or whatever, but this sword actually feels kind of overvalued. Well, the values are kind of unfair, and this sword knife proves it. Alright, but the next sword is the Spikey Trident, and it is worth 8 million. And the value of this is definitely not unfair. Look at this. So we got the Z move. Quite a good move for combos. And do you remember the Trident from before? And how it had like a hook move? Well, this sword also has it. And it's much better than the Trident. Bro, look at that range. Alright, let's see how the Trident does on this one. Alright, over there. Throw the Trident. It couldn't reach. Alright, he's over there. Now he's over here. Time to combo him. And that was the most pathetic combo, I'm not gonna lie. Alright, but the next sword is quite the interesting one. But first we gotta defeat all these ghosts. Oh my god. How many are there? Alright, now we can pull this sword right out of the ground. And we got it. Now this sword right here, aka the Yama, is worth a solid 9 million. Now there's a good reason why it's worth 9 million. Let me show you. So you got the Z move right here. Look at this. That has some crazy range. And the X move right here is a really good combo starter. Look at this. It drags them in there. Kind of crazy, I'm not gonna lie. All right, gonna pull off a crazy combo with this X move right here. All right, boom, 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 and boom. Oh, I kind of messed that up, but you get the point. Good combo. All right, but the next sword is dropped by this guy over here. And it is pretty similar to the Yama. All right, let's go. Ooh, the combo's going crazy. And boom, we just got ourselves the next sword, which is Tushita right here. Well, this sword looks pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie. Now, this sword right here deals a lot of damage. Look at this. Bro is already half health. This sword also matches my outfit, so it's even cooler. Now I see exactly why it's worth 9.5 million. Alright, but the next sword isn't really a sword, it's a lamp. Now this lamp right here is worth a solid 10 million. And yes, it is definitely worth it. Look at this. So we got the Z move right here, and this actually stuns them for a pretty good time. And we also got the X move right here. Now if you just have the X move, then you do this, and then you can combo into that, and then you can combo into this. Never mind, I failed the combo again. Alright, but the next sword is the Hallow scythe. Now this sword is worth 11,500,000. Let's see what it can do. All right, so pretty normal M1s. Zimu looks kind of like that. That's kind of cool actually. Well, the reason why this sword is worth this much is because it's a mythical sword. It's pretty rare. Let's see. I mean, it's not that bad, but it's definitely not worth 11,500,000. All right, but the next sword is the shark anchor. Now this anchor right here is worth 13 million. Well, let's see what it can do. All right, so here's the Z move. Wait, that's actually kind of cool. Here's the X move. Again, pretty. And of course the M1s are water. I'm not gonna lie, quite a good sword, and the Z move is already back. What is that cooldown? Wait, what if we equip the Terror Jaw and also Ghoul Race? All right, let's see the cooldown now. Bro, that cooldown is going down fast. Oh my god. The cooldown is non-existent. Bro, that cooldown is literally non-existent. Bro, well, this sword is definitely worth this much because it has some crazy cooldown if you just use the right things. Alright, but anyways, the next sword is the Dark Blade. And now this sword right here is worth a solid 15 million. And the way you get the sword is by going to the shop and just spending a little bit of money right here. Now this sword right here actually has two colors. Yeah, this sword has a skin basically. Now you see right here, the sword is green, the moves are green. Yeah, it's green. But if we just talk to this guy right here and enable our Dark Blade skin, the sword is suddenly white. And all the moves are black and white now. So yeah, this sword right here is quite the unique one. Alright, now remember those three legendary swords that I talked about before? You can actually combine them to make our next sword, which is the true triple katana. Now this sword right here is worth 18 million. And yes, it is worth every penny. Let me show you. So the Z move right here can do this. Okay, really good combo starter and also really good damage. And the X move has a crazy hitbox. Look at this. Oh my god. So if we just combine both of the moves right here, we get something like this. Dude, that is crazy right there. But that was for the 3 legendary swords. But what about the 2 legendary swords? Yama and Tushita. Alright, well, if we combine these, then we get the cursed dual katana. Now, this sword right here is worth 20 million. And well, there's a good reason why. Let me show you. Now, this sword right here has a really good Z move. It can pull people in and then drag them out like that, which is super useful for combos. And we also got the X move, which has some crazy range. Wait, let me show you how far we can go. We can go all the way here and still get him. Dude, this sword goes crazy far. Well, not only that, there's actually another cool thing about this, is that you see this dragon right here? Now, this dragon has a lot of defense. Look at that, only 774 damage. Even though I was supposed to do like 3,000 damage, I only deal 774. Well, not for the cursed dual katana. Look at this. This X move completely bypasses the dragon defensive ability. Look at this. We dealt 2,384 right there, which is quite literally a direct counter to dragon. Alright, but the next sword is a combination of the true triple katana and the dark blade. And this sword right here is worth 25 million. I'm not gonna lie, this kind of looks cool. And the skills are just like the dark blade, but upgraded. So here's the normal dark blade Z move, and here's the true triple dark blade Z move. Here's the dark blade X move, just a slash. And here's the true triple dark blade X move. It fires 3 of them. So this right here is the charged Z move of the true triple dark blade. Goes pretty forward actually. And here's the charged X move. Just having 3 slashes at once makes it so much cooler. Okay, now the reason why it's worth 25 million is because it is not obtainable. You have to be an admin to obtain this, which I don't think any of us are ever gonna get. Alright, but the last sword is the $50 million sword. And this sword right here actually doesn't even have a model. And what's absolutely crazy about this sword is that, unlike the previous swords with 2 abilities, this has 4. So first ability is the Black Pillar. Now, oh my god, that AoE is insane! I'm losing my voice here. What is that AoE? Oh my god. That basically covered the entire Turtle Island. And now here's the second ability, which is Black Meteors. So the longer you hold this move, the longer it will go for. So technically this move can go forever. Alright, but the next ability is the Black Blast. And this one fires a bunch of Dark Blade X move. Look at this. Oh my god. How do you even dodge that? That is crazy. And the last ability is the Black Bomb. And it has the craziest AoE I've ever seen. Oh my god. That is actually wild. And the Black Pillar actually goes really far too. Look at this. If you just do the Black Pillar right here. Oh my god. That goes so far. And the Black Blast goes even further. Probably the most range, most AoE, most damage out of any sword in the game. It's not even comparable actually. Alright, but here's the fun part. Let's take this to the first C. Alright. Oh my god. That covered the entire island. Yo, all the trees are gone, but this one tree remains. And of course, can't forget about the Black Bomb. Oh my god, that actually covers the entire island. Well, we can see why this sword is worth 50 million, but I would say 50 million is also a steal. This should be worth at least 1 billion or something. I don't know. It's crazy. Alright, but anyways, that is it for the $50 million sword. But if you want to see the $25 million fruit, then click right here and subscribe and bye.